Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and I hope you had a happy holiday season as we look forward to the next holiday season. I can tell my body is fighting for its life right now. I have eaten nothing but ham, corn casserole, green bean casserole, mac and cheese, chicken and noodles, and mashed potatoes. You hear that siren? For the last 4 days. And this morning I was like, I gotta not eat today. Or just eat a bunch of fiber. So bear with me as I struggle to hang on. We go back to Friday night, I believe was the last time we had NBA plays. We had Dallas plus 7.5. They cashed for us for our layup line. Noah Clowney ended up hitting 2 threes, not 4. Pacers' money line was good. Giddey 8 rebounds was good. Matherin hit 2 threes, but he ended with 19 points. We needed 24. So we cashed 3 out of the 4 legs. Missed that. Quickly dominated as I predicted. 3 threes, 6 assists was no problem. Gary Trent is banned. Gary Trent finds himself on the banned list. 1 for 8 from 3. So the volume was there. The opportunity was there. He shoots, 30%. We cash it. He shot 1 of 8, guys. Some other good leans I had. DiVincenzo threes, Pacers money line, quickly overs. Braden Podziemski assists, Cooper Flags over, and Dallas plus 7. Looking at today, we got Washington and Milwaukee. Washington 8.5-point underdogs. Giannis should play. We'll see what happens. I like Milwaukee threes tonight. They do not do a ton in the paint, but they do defend the paint well. I think this game is a battle of pace. Bucks will want to play slow. Washington will want to push it. I like Kevin Porter assists. I like Miles Turner threes. I like Bobby Portis threes, although he's going to come off the bench most likely. So finding that line is going to be difficult early in the day. You may have some success finding it later on at night. Giannis overs, Giannis double-double. To be completely honest, I didn't even look what his price was. If it's, if it's shorter than minus 200, fine. But if you're paying over minus 200, I just leave it alone. Detroit and Atlanta, 9.5-point favorites are the Detroit Pistons, which I find interesting. Just on paper, just this matchup, it doesn't feel like it should be that wide. But last night, Atlanta did have a double overtime game against Philadelphia, and Detroit is rested. They go on the road. So I want to say that piece of information plays into this a little bit. They could come in a little bit weary, a little bit tired. 232 is a fine total. I think the under is the side, especially with this back-to-back that they're playing after their rough night last night and the fact that Detroit defends the ball pretty well. The only thing that scares me about the under is the pace that both of these teams play at, which is pretty fast. Duncan Robinson, I like his threes overs, and Nickeil Walker-Alexander threes overs. I did not work in Walker-Alexander threes, but 3 was at plus money, so I'm okay with taking 3 at plus money if you want to throw that into a ticket or play it straight. Pacers in Cleveland, I feel like 6.5 seems low here. I know the Pacers are finding their groove with Benedict Mathurin back, with their pieces getting healthier, but 6.5 against this team in the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think it feels low. And again, I know they played in a cup game not too long ago, and the Pacers competed. I realized they competed on the road at Cleveland. Now they get the home field advantage. I just have this feeling that 6.5 is too short. It's too small, and I think Cleveland rolls here. Cleveland has the best three-point offense, and Indianapolis has the best three-point defense. That could be a big piece of this puzzle. If Cleveland is having struggle scoring from the three-point line, then obviously that hurts them, and it hurts my prediction of 6.5. We'll see. I like Mathurin points and Mathurin threes. I do like that Cleveland 6.5, and I lean the under 233. Clippers and Miami. I see Miami absolutely rolling here. I see them playing faster. I see them playing stronger, both defensively and offensively. I think it's a really tough spot for the Clippers to come into this game. Neither team shoots a ton of threes, but I just think Miami runs, and rolls easily. I like Tyler Hero overs. I like Miami's 1, 2, and 3 guards to hit threes. Anybody in that position, the Clippers are very weak at defending threes at the top of the key, and even on the perimeter, just guards and in the small forward, they are really giving up a ton of looks. So whether that's Davion Mitchell, who doesn't shoot a ton, Tyler Hero, or Norman Powell, probably Norman Powell and Hero, you take their threes. I think it's a good spot. Miami minus 6.5 is where I lean. And like I said, Mitchell assists, Hero assists look good. We'll talk about a kind of a brief play in just a second, dealing with some of those. Not an official play, but a look I'm tempted to do. Brooklyn and the Hornets. Again, I like Charlotte minus 4 here. I think these are both slow offenses that rely on threes for points, but Charlotte has a clear advantage in the paint. And I just realized that I'm like picking a bunch of favorites today. I think the favorites get it done today. Michael Porter's back, which helps Brooklyn, but Charlotte has had some pretty impressive games lately. I do think with Brandon Miller back in this lineup, they are clicking a little bit more. I just see a massive mismatch in the points that are going to be able to be scored by Charlotte here. I like Brandon Miller threes, I like Miles Bridges threes, and I like Con Knuppel threes. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, somebody please correct me, because I may work him in, and I need to know how to say it. Could I Google it? Oh yeah, of course I could. But is it better for you guys to comment, help the algorithm, and help me out? Two birds, one stone, double-edged sword. Con Knuppel? Con Knuppel? Is the K silent? Wendell Carter double-double is a play I have for this Orlando game. Chicago just frustrating. For as good as they are, Chicago and Atlanta, super good on paper, don't play defense, score a ton of points. What do you do with them? This is a tough matchup with Orlando, who is going to hold them defensively, I believe, and dominate in the paint. So I think Orlando slows the game down, plays a lot of defense, controls the glass, and comes out with a win. That 8.5 does scare me, though. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't touch that 8.5. I feel like that's a little too much. I like Wendell Carter double-double. I like Desmond Bane to have some points tonight, and then Franz Wagner should stuff the stat sheet in his fairly soft matchup against Tyson, I believe it is. Kobe White is now probable at shooting guard. Regardless, those are my leans there. Now, I said I had a Miami play for you. Gambly is a sponsor of the channel. You can check them out completely for free. They have a little chat bot that you could kind of throw in some parameters to it, and it will spit back a parlay at the best book and at the best odds. So I said, hey, I like the Heat to roll. I like Norman Powell to be on fire, Harrow to be on fire. That says Donovan Mitchell, not Davion. Sometimes a chat bot fails you, and you don't check. You don't check it. Shame on this chat bot, okay? Shame on him. Okay, and I'm not going to restart the video. Not my fault. It should have known that I said Miami Heat. Mitchell for Miami Heat is Davion, not Donovan. Shame on it. Sub this out with Davion Mitchell assists, and you get the idea. Rough call from Gambly there. Trying to read the sponsorship, and the product fails you. You can't do anything about it, chat. Could it be user error? It might be user error, but I'm calling AI error on this one. Shame on you, Gambly. Just kidding. Denver and Dallas. Here we go. I got to try not to fall in love with Dallas. It's tough. They do a lot of things right. They have a lot of young talent. Anthony Davis is coming back. It's tricky not to look at that 11 number and say, ooh, that's a nice price. That's a nice number. Denver should dominate in the paint here. I lean the under if Dallas can limit the three, which Dallas is one of the best defenders at the three in the game. And Denver likes to take the three. So if they can slow them down from outside the arc, keep this game close, I want to take that plus 11. I do. I really do. I'm going to stay away. I'm going to say under 235. And then a Jokic triple-double, I think, is a soft matchup with Norman Powell or Davis if he gets moved down to the 5, whatever the case may be. Rockets and Jazz. Utah has been pretty inconsistent, but like optimistically inconsistent. Like they've had games where they just go out and crush teams and mop the floor with them. KD is back. Houston's defense, this is the difference maker in this game. I think Houston's defense is great against point guards, Keontae George, at power forwards, Lauri Markkanen. Those are the two pieces that make Utah go. So if Houston comes in and can shut down the two best players on Utah's team, I think they're in for a rough night. Now, these two teams just played 2 nights ago, and they, being the Rockets, won by 20. I think it was like 128-101. So the total was under, close to this 232, but they covered that current spread of 12.5 by almost double. And it's hard on back-to-backs. They say that the team who lost the first round has a better, advantage in the second game, whether that be mental, matchup-wise, whatever the case may be. It's hard to beat teams 2 times in a row. I think Houston has all the keys to be able to do it. I lean Amen Thompson rebounds, assists, overs. Guys, I put Amen Thompson double-double. The price is insane. So if you want to take it, actually it's not insane. The triple-double is insane. I looked at the triple-double. Triple-double's 40-1. Double-double's like 310, 350. I'm okay with it. He just doesn't score a ton of points, especially with KD on the floor. So I think rebounds and assists is probably the safer play. Lakers and Suns, guys, I apologize. I tried. I'm not going to force anything. I tried. I think this is a weird game. Lakers are strong in the paint. Phoenix is strong in the 3, and then the opposite is true for the rest. Phoenix is weak in the paint. Like, it's just these teams are there's this weird imbalance with these two teams, and I cannot figure out who has the advantage at which spot. And I just didn't feel comfortable giving much out here. I'm still trying to figure out this Phoenix team. So I'm staying off of that one. If you want to figure out something, drop it in the comments. All right. Our smart stake plus EV play of the day is one that I love, not only from a value perspective, but just from a handicapping perspective. Right now, Brandon Miller, 4 threes, is plus 152 on FanDuel. Smart stake says this is a 12% EV play, 12% value as opposed to what the correct line should be. They're saying that a correct average, the baseline, should be about 116. Pinnacle, one of the sharper books in the ecosystem, has this at 111. So you're getting, like I said, a really good bump. And as long as this price stays like that, the ladder might be in play. You want to take Brandon Miller for 4, you want to take him for 5, you want to sprinkle a little on 6. I don't mind it because, like I said, both teams rely on the 3. Brandon Miller, I have 3s written down. I did this before I even looked at his price. So Smart Stake, if you want to check them out, you can do so for free using my code GREEN. Gets you 12 days, not for free. It's $1. Here are my official plays, the Green Means Go plays of the day. Again, if you want to check out any of these or anything else I'm betting, how I'm using boosts and things of that nature, you can follow me on Pickett, Green Means Go Sports. If you are new to Pickett, please use my code. We each get $3, and it helps me out with my partnership with them, so they can see that I'm doing my job. Benedict Mathurin, 3 threes plus 144. I like his matchup today against Cleveland, and I think they're going to need points, and he's the guy that's going to give them to him. Wendell Carter, double-double. This is actually a revenge game. Didn't even think of that, but going and playing against his old team in Chicago, that, if we get 12 and 9, we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to shake our heads. We're going to say, I knew it. But I like Wendell Carter double-double at that price, 200. Kevin Porter assists. With Giannis back, he's not going to have to do as much. I think Milwaukee's going to take so many threes against Washington tonight, and Kevin Porter is going to be the facilitator of those three-pointers. I like 8. Guys, I don't even mind 10. If you want to take Kevin Porter 10, I believe it's 14-1, something like that. Guys, I'm okay with a 10 if you want to lay that. I'm not going to have it for this video, but I may sprinkle on my own. And then our half-court heave, I'm going to go with Kahn 4 threes, Miller 3 threes, Bridges 2 threes, little 4-3-2 ladder, and then Charlotte money line. That's plus 859 on FanDuel. It is a boost play. I am using a boost on that. Now, the last thing I will say, speaking of boosts, speaking of promos, King of the Endzone, surprise appearance tonight, totally unexpected. And this is very generous, $2 million if your player scores the longest touchdown on Monday Night Football. Remember, they did this for Thanksgiving across 3 games. So having it for 1 game, all right. Here's what I like, and I'm going to go a little bit wild on these. You don't have to tail. My top 3 picks would be Kyle Williams, the new kick returner, punt returner for the Patriots. Doesn't get a bulk of snaps on offense. He really doesn't. So that's your risk here. But when he does, he is a deep ball threat. He does have a 72-yard touchdown on the year. This is a risk. You're kind of hoping for a punt return, kick return, but I think your free bet would be worth it if you come away with it. Keyshawn Boutte, a little bit more involved in the offense, does have a fairly decent depth of target, average depth of target. He gets the long ball, a little bit safer play if you want a safer play. And then Gunnar Olszewski is the punt returner, kick returner for the Giants, so you have that. But he's also been fairly involved in this offense, has a touchdown on the year, can get some passes, and with New England's defense being pretty weak at defending the pass, maybe there's a chance. So I am choosing to give you plays that are a little bit wild, a little bit out there. You do not have to tail them. If you want to play something safer, let me know. Go ahead and drop in the comments. If you get this correct, the winner of King of the Endzone will add a bulb. We will add a bulb to the tree tomorrow in your honor. We'll celebrate you. We'll put your name. So drop your plays for King of the Endzone in the chat, and best of luck. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow for our Tuesday picks. King of the Court tomorrow. Be ready.